Good afternoon or good morning, everybody, depending upon who you are. We're back with Terry and I to tackle Finger Lakes today. Yesterday was one of those weird days at Thistle Downs where all the horses scratched. Terry had, if Terry had put that $53 horse in his ticket, would have ran the table there. Me, I missed a couple along the way. We did get the opportunity to chat with T.D. Houghton to find out kind of what happened yesterday, what was the cause of all those scratches, and apparently they had a horse test positive or horse had shingles, and that caused a lot of other horses to scratch. We have the exact opposite thing today over at Finger Lakes. There's only one horse scratched in the entire card, I think. At least when I was looking through the scratches, that's all I saw.
Yeah, nothing else is scratched so far, so good.
Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers, toes, nose, everything you can think about.
Absolutely.
I want to say hello to Jorge Herrera coming in from Panama. Speaking of Panama, Terry, I don't know if you're a Van Halen fan or not, but when I was a younger kid, their video Panama, it was actually filmed in the Spectrum at Philadelphia in, I don't know, like 1983, 1984, maybe somewhere along those lines. And I was at that show when they were filming it. I found out later on that happened, but went to go see Eddie Van Halen, David Lee Roth, the entire band way back in the heyday with Might As Well Jump. And I got to say, David Lee Roth, love him or hate him, he was one hell of an entertainer. Dude was funny, had command of the audience. So anyway, that was many, 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 many years ago.
Yeah, I liked him too. So
fun stuff. All right. So today, well, before we get to today, last night, speaking of music, I don't know if we've ever had this happen before, but it was fun, absolutely fun with Ronnie Ebanks. We had him rapping.
Yeah.
He has a music video out. Well, not a music video, a song out. And we had him sing the song sort of live to the background of his music. So if you haven't checked that out, go on over to, if you're on YouTube, stay on YouTube, hit up Horse Racing Radar TV. Check out the interview last night with Ronnie Ebanks. We were supposed to have on Eric Reed, but apparently some back issues made it difficult for him. So we'll reschedule that and get Eric Reed on, the trainer of Rich Strike. I know that tomorrow we will have on Sonny Leon as a show before the show. So Sean and I are going to be busy tomorrow night.
Sounds like it.
Absolutely. So I got purple on today, Terry. You got on blue. Got on my horse racing today, purple, because we're going to do Finger Lakes. And, their color, their logo, all that stuff is purple. So let's see what we can do today, Terry. The fields are, like I said, only one scratch. Some interesting horses in these races, so that makes it fun. But the first race here is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming $8,000 with a purse of $19,400 for fillies and mares 3 years old and up, which is started for a claiming price of $5,000 or less in 2021 or 2022, or optional climbing price of $8,000. They haven't run any races at this distance, so there's no idea what the profile of a winner is. But there might not be a profile of a winner. But once again, our picks for the opening race are in exact order.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. It didn't work out yesterday.
Well, but good minds think.
Well, no, it did work out yesterday. It didn't work out the day before at Parks.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I like the number one as my first pick, getting down to it.
We have the 2 horse first there.
Oh, really?
I'm
sorry. Wrong race.
All right.
Let me get it back up here where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes when you get old, you make these kind of mistakes. So,
well, it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, Coffee Futures. She won her last race at Finger Lakes. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And her trainer in the last 14 days has a record of 5 starts, 3 wins. And then I like number 1 is my second pick, Royal Bonnie Legacy. She comes in from Penn National after finishing 3rd in her last race there, and back to Finger Lakes, where she's won 4 out of 12 races. So she kind of likes this track. The trainer wins 20% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again, and her jockey in the last 7 days has won 50% of his starts. And I like number 3, Big Sin. She finished third in her last race, has the highest last speed figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with another one. And the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days did an amazing 8 out of 9 in the money, winning 3 of those races. And then I like number 5, Tuxedo Lemon. She likes the track, finishing in the money 83% of the time, winning 17% of those races, and does well at this distance, today's distance, where she's been in the money 70% of the time and won 15% of those races.
I like the 2-horse, Terry, as you mentioned, ran the top last race. Speed figure in the first race off, some time off, and I expect the horse to improve in round number 2. Royal Bonnie Legacy comes in from Penn National, has a history of running at Finger Lakes, done so 15 times, managed to cash a top 3 check in 11 of those. That's a pretty good number. That's at the distance. That record is at the distance. It has 2 pretty good maintenance works since that last race. Number 3, Big Sin, as we go right in order, ran third behind the top pick, Coffee Futures, last time out. Trainer Carl Gruzmuk and jockey Jacqueline Davis have won so far 6 out of 16 races and put together a positive ROI of $1.65. So got some good combination there, turning out to be profitable. Tuxedo Lemon, this one is run at Finger Lakes 12 times, has 10 times it's finished in the money with 2 wins, 4 seconds, and 4 thirds. And this one has a pair of maintenance works since its last start. Race number 2, Terry, is let me fast forward real quick, is 6 furlongs, optional claiming 5,000, purse of 12 grand, fillies and mares, 3 years old and up, which have not won 2 races since August 11th, 2021, or which have not won a race since November 11th. Apparently 2021 as well. This time we almost have we got the first 2 in order, but these fields aren't all that deep. So take us through your picks here.
Yeah, all right. Number 1, it's my first pick, Christmas Dinner. She ran second in her last race, receiving the highest last race speed rating, tied with another horse. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a very good high percentage winning jockey. Number 6 is my second pick, Do What It Takes. I guess she'll try that today. She likes the track, finishing in the money 68% of the time and won 27% of those races. Likes this distance, been in the money 66% of the time and won 22% of the races. And then number 3, my third pick, Alsema, won her last race at Finger Lakes and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then number 5, Kateria Empire. She's been off since last November, but has a really good workout of 101 and some change. Best workout out of 3 that day.
So a lot of these races, a lot of horses coming off a long break. So it'll be interesting to see how they run. But Christmas Dinner, I think the key to Christmas Dinner here is to watch Coffee Futures. Because if Coffee Futures runs well in the first leg, Christmas Dinner finished second behind Coffee Futures in the last race. So if you see a strong performance out of the first one, I'd expect a strong performance out of the second one. Do What It Takes, as you mentioned, probably going to try to do what it takes, but it's been in the barn since November, and it has 16 furlongs of workouts since March 31st. Trainer James Aquiliano, he's got a pretty good win rate when his horses spend some time in the barn. They win at 19% if they've taken off 90 days or more. Chasing Losses, the 2-horse, man, that last race was brutal, but it's moving way down in class to a level that she can handle. In fact, I think she had 2 wins in 3 races at this level. If you go back a little bit further on the past performances, has a decent 3 furlong workout, which tells me that trainer Brent Bond wants to get this horse out of the gate a little bit faster. Speed does matter here because they've run 6 races. They've run 3 races at 6 furlongs. 100% of them won by speed horses. They were either first, second, or third. The quarter-mile marker, and all the winners came from posts 1, 2, or 3. Definitely, if you can show some really speed, does have that inside advantage. And then number 3, Ensalemi. This is another one that's been off for a long time. It's a Forrest Gump. You don't know what you're going to get when they open up the box of starting gates, but 14 furlongs of work since April the 8th suggests that the horse should be fit, firm, and ready to run. Race number 3 is a 4.5 furlong race. We better get used to these because there's going to be plenty of them on today's Finger Lakes card. It'll be over like that. But you'll know if you won or lost right away, and there won't be a whole lot of suspense, I suspect. This one we both agree for the first time, Terry, on I think ever, is on a long shot.
Yep.
It is a claiming 5,000, purse 12,600, 3 years old and up, which have not won a race since November 11th. I think in the entire card, I agree with you. Special Story is probably the most likely long shot to come home first.
It is, and he may not be a long shot once the public.
Not if we both agree on it, probably not.
Yeah, the public also going to see what we see, I think. Anyway, number 1, Special Story. He ran second versus Tougher in his last race, so he drops in class today, and the rail post is winning at a 22% clip. He should improve while returning to a sprint, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 4, Margarita Surprise is my second pick. He has been off since November, and this is his first race back where he finished second versus Tough. In his first race back, he finished second versus Tougher, and now he drops in class today. He has the highest last race speed rating and a trainer who wins 25% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back again. He has a really good winning percentage jockey. And then number 5, my third pick is Not a Trick. His early speed running style helps his chances. The trainer wins 27% of the time when he runs a horse in a sprint. And the jockey in the last 7 days have won 3 out of 6 starts. And then number 6, my fourth pick, Amazing Rip. That's kind of neat. Anyway, he comes back from Penn National to Finger Lakes, where he has finished in the money 50% of the time, winning 22% of those races.
Well, it's the second time in 2 races where we agree totally across the board, which I don't know. And then we agree on the long shot. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or it should scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
It probably scares me greatly. But I agree. It's a long shot to take today is Special Story. The only thing is he's a 10-year-old man. So maybe you wake up a little cranky this morning, decide he doesn't want to run. But
could be. Yeah.
If he's ready, he has some of the best early pace numbers in the field and could get the lead. If you get the lead at the distance of 4.5 furlongs, where they've run 22 races, 20 of which were won by speed. 17 of the 22 went wire to wire. I don't know that I've ever seen such a strong wire to wire bias in my life. 17 of 22 races going wire to wire. There is a strong rail bias here and an inside out bias. So everything points to Special Story being able to have a chance to score at 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Margarita Sunrise did run the top last race speed figure, and combining that with a drop in class. I like that combination. A lot of times it does work out. Did have the lead in the stretch last time out, so maybe it's a second start off a layoff. Margarita Sunrise will have a little bit more stamina. Not a Trick comes in from Charlestown for trainer Bernard Durham, who wins at a hefty 23% when he ships horses from track to track. And he has a 44-cent ROI with that angle as well. So that might work out pretty good. Did have some much better late pace and 4 furlong speed figures last time out, or pace figures. So maybe this is one that can kind of close into the pack if that actually plays out. But I think with 17 out of 22, highly unlikely. Amazing Rip, much better in the first half mile of its last effort, and is going to shorten from 6 furlongs down to 4.5 furlongs. I think the cutting of distance could be a major benefit for Amazing Rip. Our fourth race on the Finger Lakes card is a 5.5 furlong maiden special weight, $32,100. The $100, got to throw that in there.
Yep.
This is for maidens and fillies that are 3 years old. 5.5 furlongs. There have been 4 races, not many, 100% of which were won by speed, half of which went wire to wire, and all the winners came from posts 2 through 7. This is my box setup today, Terry, where we take 4 horses, put them together in an exacta box for $1, a 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box. Sweet sugar, baby. I actually like this race because it's got, I don't know, most horses in it. And as you can see, Terry and I have a lot of agreement in the first 3 races, but in this spot, we have some disagreement. So I think there's an opportunity for us to catch some decent odds in this race. So Sweet Sugar Baby is a track drop from Aqueduct for trainer Jeffrey Englehart. And if you know anything about the Englehart, if you know anything about Finger Lakes, you know that the Engleharts win at Finger Lakes. This one should be better in its third start off the bench. The number 5, Miss Pab, has run the best of these at Finger Lakes 3 times to track, but didn't quite get the win yet, but does have a couple of seconds and a third. Last time out at Aqueduct, that was just a completely god-awful race. But the horse is getting second-time Lasix for yet another Englehart, Jeremiah, who wins at 29%. 7, All About Bella. There's a horse and there's a dog in the family by the name of Bella, so we got to keep the dogs in mind here. But the debut race had all sorts of issues. Prior to the bet, the race, the bettors did seem to like this horse because it was well bet. And I'm hoping that the horse will be less green in round number 2. And then finally, Racing Queen, the 4 horse, looks as good as any of the other horses that are in this field. So I'm going to take the 15-1 odds and jockey Jacqueline Davis, who is winning at a damn near astounding so far in the meet, 30%. I'm actually hoping that one comes home first.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Indeed.
Anyway, well, I like number 5 as my first pick, Miss Pab. She comes in from Aqueduct to try and break her maiden at Finger Lakes, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. This trainer wins 28% of the time when using Lasix for the second time, and the trainer in the last 14 days have been in the money 100% of the time, winning 2 of those races, 2 out of 3. And then I like number 7, All About Bella. She finished 3rd versus similar in her only start, and her trainer wins 17% of the time when when he has an entry for the second career race. And she was well bet in the debut. And then number 6, Tina Burner. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race at Finger Lakes. And then my 4th pick, number 8, is Wow, spelled backwards. She finished 3rd versus similar in her only start.
What is Wow spelled backwards, Terry?
Geez, I don't know. What is it?
It's Wow.
Oh, yeah. I get it. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm always right, Terry. Good. Anyway, so along with always being right, tonight, as I mentioned, last night we had on Ronnie Ebanks on the Horse Center show. Tonight, we're going to have on a young lady who's just getting her career started, Courtney Gerardo. She'll be, and also last week we debuted Erica Starr, who is a clocker and chart caller at Lone Star. So she'll give us some insights as to some horses you might want to keep an eye out that have been training really well at Lone Star and might run really well at Lone Star in the days ahead. So if you get a couple horses, collect a few bucks, who knows, that might work out pretty well. So make sure you turn in tonight, 8 p.m. for Courtney Gerardo, along with Erica Starr. I'm looking forward to that, Terry.
Yep, me too.
And to do that, the easiest way to do that is hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. And then if you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us with the ratios. While you're on Facebook, you can do the same thing. Give us a thumbs up. We appreciate those. And you can follow us if you haven't done so already on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts. All have the same handle, Horse Race, the number 2, and then day. So Horse Race today. Make sure you follow along. Our Swiss Army Sean always has a ton of different questions, keeps people engaged, and it's a fun place to be, I guess, like-minded folks who have a common interest in horse racing. So it's a lot of good stuff going on over there.
Yep.
And at the end of race number 4, Terry, also brings us to the first pick 4 of the day, our hot dog pick 4s. Right. You're going to go the traditional route of 2-3-2-3, $18. I spent my $18 a little bit differently. I'm going to put the weak link in race number 1 with that 2 horse. I know it's not the favorite. The 1 horse is the favorite. But I have a feeling that 2 horse is going to end up being the favorite, Terry. And I hope it just runs away with this race. And then maybe I can catch something at a price behind it. Kind of like what happened with that pick 4 yesterday. Yeah. Where it was price. And then the $53 horse came in.
That's right. And I like the number 2 like you do as my first choice. I think it's going to beat the 1. But I'm always afraid to single every time. Not every time, but a lot of times when I do, I'm out. So,
yeah, well, I know I hate
sort of like it's sort of like insurance for me.
You don't need it till you need it.
That's right.
All right, so race number 5, Terry, is the next race on the card as we move forward, and it's also your box it up. It is another one of those 4.5 furlong races where, man, what is it, 17 to 22, one going wire to wire. So you better make sure you have a damn fast horse in your box it up, at least one of them, Terry, and then some others to bring it around. So tell us why you prefer Blue City as the speed of the speed in race 5.
Well, he finished third versus similar in his last race, and his best dirt speed's fastest among today's starters. He's tied with another one. He has a trainer in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 5 starts. And then I like as my second pick, number 6, Deputy Flag. He finished in the money in 3 out of 4 races at Finger Lakes, winning one of those races. Trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have got a really good 4 wins out of 5 record, and this horse has a bullet workout of 48 and change, the best of 31, so he's got a lot of speed. And then number 3, Florida Endeavor, that's what you want. He drops in class today and has won the only time he ran at today's distance. And then number 1, Smoking Alone, he had and that's what a lot of people do nowadays. He had a disappointing
by law.
Yeah, that's true. He had a disappointing race in his first race. He was last year, but he experienced trouble during the race. The rail post is winning at a 22% clip, and the trainer wins 21% of the time in a second race off of the layoff.
Well, same for horses, just a little bit different order for you and I. That 6 horse, Terry, I don't know if anybody's going to beat Deputy Flag. It's a short race, as we mentioned, has the top early pace numbers in the field, so it's going to probably get the lead. Making his third start off a bench, but I'm not a fan of the odds. I think you probably did the right thing trying to beat it. Florida Endeavor is the one I would try to beat it with. That has some better workouts for the horses that are coming off a long break. Number 4, your top choice, my third choice, Blue City. This one, I mean, just point blank, its workouts stink. But it does have a history of getting off to a fast start, which considering the speed bias, if you get out of the gates first and you have a lead, it could be enough.
Yeah.
And then finally, number 1, Smoking Alone. I don't think this one's going to win, so I just probably locked it into the winner's circle. But it does have the top late pace figures in the race and does get that high win rate rail, as you mentioned. Speed has been the way, so closing's probably not going to find its way into the winner's circle, but it probably does find its way in to clean up and fill up the exactas, the trifectas, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Race number 6 is another one of these. This is a 6 furlong race, another one of these $32,100 maiden special weight races for maidens that are 3 years old and up. And again, 6 furlongs. They haven't run very many of them, just 3 races. 100% of them were won by speed. One went wire to wire, and every single winner was in posts 1, 2, or 3. And in this case, a lot of commonality again, just a little bit different on the back end. And I think there was a scratch in this race that kind of maybe changed our picks around a little bit.
Yeah, it was actually the 7th race.
The 7th race? Right.
Yeah, the 2 and the 7th. But anyway, I like the 2 in this race as my first pick, and its name is Boss Hip or Bo's Ship.
Boss Hip. Be careful with that, the second pronunciation.
Anyway, he comes in from Aqueduct to try Finger Lakes for the first time, and the trainer wins 27% of the time when he brings a horse in to a new track. May improve at the shorter distance and has a trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days, as I said, was won 2 out of 3. And then I like number 1 as my second pick, Battle Mat. He came from Aqueduct and ran third versus similar in his last race at Thistle Downs, receiving the highest last race rating and the best dirt speed as fast among today's starters. And I think it was Finger Lakes that he ran his last race that. Anyway, and then I like number 5, Arch du Lieber. He should improve by returning to a sprint late, and Lasix is added today. And then I like number 6 as my fourth pick, Trizatum. I guess they ate him. Anyway, He has finished in the money 50% of the races at Finger Lakes, and the trainer wins 19% of the time when bringing a horse back after it has been off for 90 days.
I don't really see a whole lot of difference between the 2 and the 1, Boss Hip and Battle Map. The difference being, in my opinion, what separates them is Boss Hip Both of them are running at Aqueduct, and Boss Hip's numbers were a little bit better at Aqueduct than Battle Map.
Yeah.
Battle Map did put up the top last race speed figure, though, and I expect the source will be better in its second start off the bench. Triz something or another has been off since November the 23rd, but does have 21 furlongs of workout since March 27th, including what I call a bullet and go. That last workout on April 29th was the best of the bunch. So the horse should be fit, firm, and ready to hit the track today. And then that's got to be German, that number 5 horse. Ach du Lieber. Just got it. I can play this card because, my family's from Regensburg, Germany. My grandfather and grandmother were born there. So I can make fun of Germans and not get in trouble. But
yeah,
you just got to say German words like you're angry. Ach du Lieber. And you got it right, baby.
I know my wife does that. Both her parents were from Germany, came over just prior to the World War II. So when she yells at me, that's what she does. She does that.
It's got to do that anger sound. But even though they're not being angry, just make it sound angry, and you got it spot on. You got the dialect and the accents and all that stuff perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one was a tough call for me over to 7. But the story is the same for both the 5 and the 7. They were getting first-time Lasix. But Ach du Lieber ran better numbers as a 3-year-old than the 7 ran in his debut as a 3-year-old. So the 5 horse, Ach du Lieber, is a 4-year-old. 4-year-old should be bigger, stronger, and faster than the 3-year-old. So I'm expecting improvement in the Ach du Lieber numbers. Yeah,
Jared says it's not going to win.
It's not going to win? Well, we're not saying it's going to win. We're saying he's going to run fourth, Jared. I don't know what I mean. Let's look at the order there, my friend, right?
Yeah.
Indiana Downs race 6, number 9, Kai Nance, 10-1 odds.
Actually, that's Horseshoe Indianapolis now. So.
Octu not winning, no, but he's Octu Lung Baby, the good record from Jethro Tull, if you like that sort of music.
Yep.
Anyway, so the race number 7 is the 5.5 furlong allowance, 24,000. This one is for horses that are foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Bred Registry. Fillies and mares that are 3 years old and up, which have not won a state bred race other than maiden, claiming or starter. And at 5.5 furlongs, they run 4 races, 100% won by speed, 2 of which went wire to wire. All the winners ran from posts 2 through 7. Number 6, Sniff is your best bet of the day, Terry.
Yeah, she ran second versus similar in her last race and earned the highest last race speed rating. And her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The trainer wins 21% of the time in allowance races. Then I like as my second pick, number 3, Left Leaning Lucy. She is another horse that has come in from Aqueduct after finishing 3rd to try Finger Lakes for the first time. And the trainer wins 17% of the time in sprints. And she has a jockey in the last 7 days, has won 3 out of 6 races and had 1/3. Then number 5, Trivia. She is having a good year, finishing in the money 61% of the time, winning 23% of those races. She has a decent workout on April 23rd of 49 breezing, 5th best out of 23. And then to bring up my 4th pick is number 7, Still My Heart. She should improve while returning
something
to dirt.
Honey Bunny did a long time ago.
She did over 20 years, 27 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she should improve while returning to dirt, and the shorter distance is a plus for her.
So speaking of Terry's best bets of the day, Jared's over here giving out Horseshoe Indiana picks. Race number 7, he likes the 12 horse on the radar. Diaz and Thomas Amos, a 61 play. Thomas Amos is, I think, one of those underrated trainers, Terry. That's a very good trainer, kind of under the radar, but Thomas Amos horses always seem to be prepared. Terry's like something over at, I don't know what race it is, though. I think I deleted the race number, Terry. Do you know the race number?
Yeah, it's the 5th race. It's at Horseshoe Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm. I'll go back and I'll edit this so that it does have race number 5 in there. But you said race 5, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And so my first pick, you ready for me to do that? My first pick?
Well, how about this? Yesterday you did Horseshoe Indianapolis. How did that one do?
Yeah, okay.
While you talk about that, I'll correct this.
Yeah, yesterday, my top pick yesterday at Horseshoe Indianapolis, the 3rd race, Dusemer Dame won that race. Paid $6.60, $3 and $2.40. And then my third pick ran second, paying 260 and 240, and the exacta for $1 paid 710. If you're like me, I play a lot of $10 exactas. So if you were to did a $10 exacta from the first pick to the second and the third pick, it would have cost you $20, and you would have collected 71. So it's not too bad.
Not bad. There you go. I got race 5 in there. Just like that, I'm able to update the site. So,
all right.
And every single day, you can head on over to horseracingtoday.net. You can catch Terry's best bet of the day: rain, snow, shine, earthquake, tsunami up in the Bay Area. It doesn't matter. Terry has his picks.
That's right. And in this today, I like number 8, Tripulant. He's coming in from Tampa Bay after finishing in the money in the last 5 races. And he's won 3 of those races. The distance is in his wheelhouse as he won 60% of those starts. Unfortunately, my second pick, as I just saw, has been scratched, number 3, Fort Laurel. And then my third pick is number 2, Lieutenant Junior Grade. He finished second in his last race at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, receiving the highest last speed figure at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
All right. And so while you're over at horseracingtoday.net, please over here, you see the HRT gear. Support the show. Click on that. We have a lot of great content and a lot more content coming that's on the way. So the more we grow, the more we'll bring. And one of the ways you can help us grow and bring more people in is to support the show. Click on the HRT gear and go over here. You can pick yourself up. Today is the 11th. You can wear a nice number 11 hat. And for the next 6 days, there is free shipping, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Actually, this is it's my favorite hat, and someone stole it already, Terry. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah, it's missing. I can't find it, so it's crazy. But in any way, let's move on to my picks for the for race number 8, right? 7. I'm sorry,
7. Yeah,
at Finger Lakes. So let me pull the picks back up again. In this respect, it'd be good to have a little bit of help as a producer behind the scenes. But in race number 7, your best bet is also my top choice in. Sniff did run the top last race speed figure. The one thing is a concerning thing for me is the horse very consistent. It runs pretty much almost the same race with a little bit of variance in between, not a whole lot. So it doesn't have a whole lot of upside, but it doesn't have a whole lot of downside. And it does have the best Finger Lakes numbers by a little bit over the rest of the field. Steal My Heart is a horse for the course, I think, maybe. It has 3 wins in 7 races at the Finger Lakes track. Put it anywhere else on the planet, and it's 0 for 21. I think you call that for a horse for a course for sure.
I would, yeah.
Left Leaning Lucy. A lot of L's there, an alliteration with the L's coming in off of a track drop from the Naira circuit. Had some good workouts at Finger Lakes, and it was a tough call for me because I think a lot of them are similar. But it was a tough call for me over number 5. Number 4, Impress the Professor. I went with number 5, Trivia. It's been working out better than the number 4 and does have a little bit better history at Finger Lakes than Impress the Professor. But if you like the odds like Jared does, maybe Impress the Professor is the way to go here. But Trivia has run at the distance at 5.5 furlongs, those short sprints, 7 times, has 2 seconds and 3/3. So I think it's running the right distance. Finally, race number 8 is another 5.5 furlong race, Terry. And it closes out the show. It is a allowance $28,500 race for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Pretty simple. This one gets my best bet of the day, Terry. It's your 4th pick, so I'm kind of surprised to see it so far down there in your rankings.
Yeah.
But Big Brown Shoes did run the top last race speed figure. It is coming in from a track drop from Aqueduct. And then if you look at the jockey and the trainer, they've just been winning at crazy rates. Jockey Andre Worry has won 7 out of 16 starts at Finger Lakes so far. And I tell you, those Engleharts, they win everything at Finger Lakes. You see Englehart as a trainer, you don't have to look at much else, to be honest. But he's won 5 out of 11 starts so far. So that's why I think the 7 horse is going to be the favorite. I think the morning line odds are 5-2. I'll be surprised if I get 6-5.
Yeah, you make a lot of good, a lot of good points there. Actually, you used all my points, but I like number 2, Night Spot, as my first pick. She finished 3rd versus similar in the last race and has finished 100% of the time in the money winning one of the races at Finger Lakes. And then number 1, Holy Cowboy. She won her last race at Finger Lakes, and her trainer Deborah Breed is winning at a 30% clip. Number 9, Navy Piers, a long shot. She came in from Parks Racing, finishing second, only beating a neck. It was claimed by trainer Tina Chamberlain, who's winning right now at 50%, wins 50% of the races after claiming a horse. And then number 7, Big Brown Shoes, the one you like. As you've said everything that I need to say about that one.
Yes, because you cannot improve on anything I say, Terry.
That's correct.
Jared, what race are you talking about here, my man? 1, 2, 3, 9, 12 in the 8th. Is that over at Horseshoe, Indianapolis? We hope so. So for me, beyond the 7 horse, Terry, another horse I kind of surprised not to see in your picks there is that's the 8 horse, Mr. Larry. This one has been trending pretty poorly. I mean, race after race after race, it's been going, but it's been going like this at the same time against competition. So it came out, won at, I think, a maiden special weight, $70,000 at Aqueduct. By far the top winner in terms of class for its maiden. And then it went up against like an optional claiming $82,000 race, ran okay. Then it went into $100,000, $50,000, $150,000 non-graded stakes, then a $200,000 non-graded stakes. This horse is coming way, way, way down the class ladder. So I think you're going to see this horse get its confidence back, has a pretty good solid workout. So take a look at that 8 horse maybe as a price if it's overlooked. Then I like the 2 horse as well as you do, Terry. Night Spot. This one could be better off in the second start after some time in the barn. Does have a win, a place, and a show in 3 trips across the Finger Lakes track. And then finally, number 1, Holy Cowboy. Coming off the maiden win after 15 tries, I got to tell you, that's not my favorite angle whatsoever at all. Oof, but that race was better than any of the other races in this field. And that was his first start after some time in the barn. So maybe it's a new horse. Holy Cowboy will try to make it 2 wins in a row after taking 15 to win race number 1. I think the odds are stacked against him to do that, but maybe he can take his early pace and find his way into a 3rd place or 2nd place finish. All right, my friend, that is Horseshoe, Indianapolis for Jared on this 1, 2, 3, 9, 12 pick. Now let's see if Nick Spindle 3-1 better, take a win bet too. So if he likes the 3 horse there, if it's better than 3-1, oh, that's Spindle. That's got to be the 1 horse in that race. All right, in the 8th. All right, so let's pull up, Terry, our prime rib pick 4s. We took a little different approach. You went 4, 3, 3, and then 5 to close it out. I really think the 7 and the 8 horse will cover it on that back end, but I threw the 2 in there just in case. I don't think the 1 horse, and I just locked them in as the winner. You can pretty much guarantee that. But if it took him 15 races to win once, I doubt he'll get 2 in 16. But Terry did go a little bit deeper there. That 6 horse is 4 to 5 on race number 5. Maybe a solo there. Maybe the 3, maybe the 4 beats him. And then I just went deeper in those middle races, hoping to catch a price again, trying to emulate that Thistle Downs pick 4 from yesterday.
Yep. Although I really think that the 8th race is pretty wide open, to tell you the truth. But
yeah.
And you either should play your best bet, which I really respect, or you should go all in that race. So,
in the last race?
Yeah.
No, I think I really think the 7's going to make easy work of this field. But the only horse I can think that might compete with it would be the 8 horse because it's just been facing so much tougher. It's going to get enormous class relief today. And I know it's been trending down, but I mean, probably got discouraged. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Outside coming off the pace at Parks today. Expect big prices today at Philly. And the Philly 5 gets hit. 3 7 horses won yesterday. Or Charles yesterday was on that 7 horse at Parks.
Let's hope that Charles hits that Philly pick 5.
For sure. It says Alos nailed 1 twice. All right, so that let's go through our picks real quick. Here are all of our picks. Terry and I agree for the first time ever on a long shot in race number 3 with the 1 horse. Terry's best bet is race number 7 with the 6. Mine is race number 8 with the 7. Maybe you have a best bet daily double in the back end. Terry's box it up is in race number 5. Mine is in race number 4, so we can take a look at that again. There it is. That's where we take 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta box. Our hot dog pick 4s, which start in race number 1 right away. I'm soloing up the 2. trying to get some coverage afterwards, hoping to hit a price there. And then our prime rib pick fours at Finger Lakes. All looks pretty good, Terry. And then, of course, if you're betting today, tonight, as a matter of fact, at Charlestown, you might want to head over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, because that is the free track of the day. So if you head over there, all you need to do is click on Tip Sheets. You'll see right here, Tip Sheets. And then when it switches pages, go to Charlestown, hit Charlestown. It's free. Do us a favor, please. There is a link in the description here at YouTube. Hit that link. There's a link in the description over at Facebook. Please hit that link, or head on over to horseracingtoday.net and click on any of the links there so they know where that traffic is coming from. So I know where that traffic is coming from. Yep. Early pick 4 was to play yesterday at Parks, and pick 3s would be a good way to go. Yeah, thanks, Jared. All right, so 10-1. All right, Terry, I think that wraps up everything for the show today. Did I miss anything?
Nothing that I know of.
All right, so any final thoughts before we get up and out of here? Well, tomorrow for Dominic, who says we never do Laurel or any of the Maryland tracks, in preparation for next weekend's race, the Preakness, we're going to do Pimlico tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
That's right.
And I got to be honest, me and those Baltimore tracks usually don't get along.
Yeah, they're hard. That one is especially hard for me. So what are we doing Thursday night?
We're going to do Belmont on Thursday night. So
okay.
I don't know who our guest is going to be, but we're going to do Belmont. Tom and I at 1 o'clock Eastern on Friday are going to do Newmarket for our 4 on Friday. Terry and I will clean up the stakes races, what's left. There's not that many Saturday. So we'll clean those up on Saturday morning, and that'll wrap up the week. And then we'll roll it back around for Preakness week, Terry.
All right. Sounds good. So.
All right. Any final thoughts before you get up and out of here, Terry?
Well, just like I always say, I hope everybody has a great day and good week, and that you stay safe, and give your loved ones a hug and a kiss, and tell them that you like them a lot and love them today.
Indeed. Thanks, Nick, for joining us. Jared, Charles, as always, we appreciate that. Thank you for joining us all the way down in Panama, Jorge. We appreciate that as well. Robert, Brian, we appreciate the love on Facebook. We can use some more of it. So if you like what you saw, please give us the thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube. Helps us with our ratios and their algorithms. All right. That wraps up this hump day. We'll see you tonight on Horse Center with Sean. Until we meet again, we hope that your picks, whether they're at Horseshoe, whether they're in the Philly 5, or they're at Finger Lakes, Terry, that they end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Wednesday.